Religion, Liberty, and Intelligence by Juan Donoso Cortes. First published June 13, 1837. When the thoughtful man stops to consider carefully the rich and varied panorama of history, when, evoked by his meditation, there pass before his eyes the revolutions which have bloodied the world, disturbed the earth, and shaken to their foundations the fragile edifices of human societies, when, thirsting to reach the origin of such acute convulsions, he asks history to dispel the darkness of his spirit and to reveal that secret which humbles, here is what their oracles reveal. Man is by his nature religious, intelligent, and free. When these three characteristics, which constitute his nature, develop harmoniously, man achieves his highest degree of perfection and felicity. When these three elements do not develop harmoniously in him, a feverish agitation oppresses him, and an indefinable and severe pain torments him. To prove our theory, we invoke the testimony of history. When the element of intelligence in a man dominates the other elements, that man is a philosopher. When the sentiment of liberty inflames him, he is a warrior. And finally, when faith burns in his heart and consumes him, he is a monk. In vain will one search history for other types of great and sublime characters. There are no others. Man, to be great, to live in posterity, has to be notable in war, religion, or letters. He has to be religious, intelligent, or free, a monk, a philosopher, or a warrior. Let us erase these three categories from the history of the world, and the world, destitute of its heroes, destitute of its philosophers, and destitute of its martyrs, would be left destitute of its glory. The uniting in a single man of these three sublime characteristics has been realized only once in the world. Only once have the centuries witnessed a man whose voice was the intelligence of the world and the confusion of the wise, the most intelligent among the intelligent, a man who announced with his coming the kingdom of faith, who inflamed with his holy fire tepid hearts, the most religious among religious. There was a man, finally, who, when his mission was accomplished, resigned himself to a voluntary death, the freest of free men. Behold the man, completely great, the representative man, the beautiful ideal of the whole of humanity. Esse homo. Let us be permitted an important observation. When Greek civilization, decrepit and near death, already was being extinguished by the gore and blood of civil strife, it was personified in Socrates, who proclaimed the unity of God, confounded the sophists, and drank the hemlock as a resigned victim. He was the most intelligent, most religious, and freest among the Greeks, just as much later Jesus would be the most intelligent, most religious, and freest among the human race. Is his name not perchance the most beautiful, pure, and glorious of all those preserved in history as beautiful, pure, and glorious? How do we explain philosophically the hymn of admiration history has consecrated to him, ratified by posterity, and paid tribute by a magnificent choir of ages? Without his superiority as a religious, intelligent, and free man, Socrates would have been ordinary. Without the harmonious combination of the three principles which vivified him, his character would not have been sublime, nor his name celebrated. Societies do not attain glory at a low price. They too, if not religious, intelligent, or free, pass obscurely and disappear. What people ever threw itself into combat writing its name on the battlefield with the blood of the defeated, without feeling itself inspired by its religion, its liberty, or its intelligence? When these elements are combined in human societies, they march rapidly toward perfectibility through their constant and spontaneous development. When these three elements are not combined, but struggle and are separated, societies tremble and give themselves over to senseless struggle, endless convulsions, the bitter fruit of this separation. It happens frequently, as history bears witness, that each one of these social principles is found in a different nationality. Then these nationalities wave hostile flags and rush to the field of combat to battle for the victory of the moral principle that inflames them. Thus, when the Persians and the Greeks, the East and the West, Asia and Europe confronted one another at Marathon, the enemy phalanxes fought, one in the name of religion, the others in the name of liberty and intelligence. When the barbarians of the north invaded the empire of the Caesars, when the eagles of the Septentrion fought the Capitoline eagles for the domination of the world, the barbarians represented a liberty born in their forests and a religion descended from heaven. The Caesars represented the decrepit intelligence of a depraved civilization. It is evident that the divorce of religion, intelligence, and liberty, the divorce of the constitutive principles, always produces a divorce in fact, which makes the combat of nations into a reproduction and logical result of the combat of ideas. When human societies have reached such a point of humiliation and depression that not one party exists which combines harmoniously the three social principles, and when the name of liberty without religion is inscribed on one banner and on another without liberty or intelligence, then all the parties are destructive, and the work of social regeneration is denied them. Terror precedes them, desolation follows them, and vengeance takes them into battle inspired by rage. The divorce of the social principles explains the struggle between the parties and the nations, the revolutions, and the wars. If our readers comprehend these principles, which are generally forgotten, they will be able to survey the labyrinth of history. Then they will realize why the French conventions would only destroy and heap rubbish upon rubbish. In vain did a ray of liberty burn in their breast, and a ray of intelligence on their brow. In the delirium of their exaltation and the vanity of their power, they dethroned God and proclaimed themselves atheists. What could come from revolutionary and atheistic pandemonium but a sea of blood? When Napoleon inserted the name of God between intelligence and liberty, when he became the living personification of the three principles of society, when he put an end to their sacrilegious divorce, the tempests were calmed, the threatening clouds scattered, and the work of reorganization became possible, and the revolution ceased to desolate the earth with its crimes. If we are victims of a social decomposition which fills our eyes with tears, tell us, who has incited the storms, accelerates our dissolution, causes our agony, digs our grave, and prepares the black garments for our funerals? Isn't it the imbecile party which continues the work of the old revolutionaries without achieving their power or having their intelligence, and which resembles such giants only in that it is atheist and proclaims liberty? Yes, atheist, for even though the individuals who compose this group worship God in the family hearth, the party is still atheist if it does not proclaim God in the laws as individual members do in their homes. Yes, atheist, for even though he proclaims the name of God in the laws, he would be an atheist in practice if he does not respect God in the way in which he is respected in our society. What does it serve to proclaim God theoretically if the cult is not respected? And does the party respect the cult if it desires to despoil the churches of the treasures deposited in them by the piety of the faithful? Does it ignore, perchance, that in the eyes of the people, religious cult and clergy are one and the same? In matters of this nature, would any government remain unpunished if it failed to respect popular opinion? Let us conclude. Among the various parties which have attained power, none until now has been sufficiently religious and sufficiently intelligent. The liberty proclaimed and defended by them has not until now been able to produce the fruits of benediction on our soil. Nor could it be otherwise. No human institution has life if its customs are not supported by religion and its ideas by intelligence. We declare frankly that no party, nor the nation itself, has until now understood our political and social situation. Either the parties will devour the nation, or the nation will devour itself, unless the parties and the nation accept our plan. Our plan or death. They may accuse us of pride, but they will not say that we are servile flatterers.